Okay, so here we are, we're back. I'm going to make a really quick tincture that you can use in the ultrasonic. Notice what I tincture in isn't a fancy bottle like one of these or one of these, which usually is what I transfer the tincture into after and then label the bottles. I just do it in one of these. I recycle a lot of glass. We're going to do a Bushman's candle, which is, I don't know if you can see that. It's from Apothecary's Garden. It's the peel of a plant that's very similar to a succulent. In fact, I think it is a succulent. It dies down, and what's left are, here, let me see if I can get a little closer, these little shells of the outside part. And if you look, the picture is good enough for you, you can see it looks like a succulent. And they're waxy. They're hard and waxy, not the least bit brittle. And so you want to put your bottle, there's a scale here, I don't know if you can see that very well, and you turn it on, you choose the measurement you want. In this case I want grams, so I'm going to start adding the Bushman's candle. I have a really nice infusion of Bushman's candle. I have not yet created a tincture. So we're up to 21 grams now. I'm trying to get short pieces because I want to make sure that all of the pieces are covered. I'm going to try to get it up to exactly 30 grams. Let's see if we can do it. Not yet. Like this, you would think that this would be brittle, but it's really not. And it's, the texture of it is waxy. It's called Bushman's candle because they use it, it comes from Africa, and they use it as a light source. They bundle them up and set them on fire, and they burn for quite a long time. And they also have a very, very beautiful, musky, sweet scent. Okay, so we have 30 grams of Bushman's candle, and now I'm going to re-tear I'm going to have to do it again because I have to use a funnel, so I'm going to need small funnels. I'll have to re-tear. And make sure when you're doing this that you write all this down, like you've got your 30 grams of Bushman's candle, and now we're going to cover this and then calculate, see how much alcohol we put in there. It's 143 grams, and this is the same alcohol that I used in the other video for the CO2 extraction. Okay, so I'm going to cap this, set this aside. Okay, so right now this is empty. It is plugged in, but it's empty, see? And you see there's a fill line right here. So what you want to do, you can use the basket if you'd like, but it makes a lot of noise when you do. You can set your bottle in the pan, and then add the water until you hit that fill line. And it takes pretty much this entire, okay. I'm going to move this so I can show inside. How, and as you can see, it actually goes over the top of the amount that's inside as well, which is good. That's what you kind of want that too. Okay, so as you can see, there are two knobs. This knob is the heater knob, and this is the timer knob. Now, when you're doing infusions with oil, you will probably need to use the heater knob if you're trying to break down a really waxy raw material like a concrete or an absolute, or even a floral wax. If you're trying to extract a little scent out of those, you do want to use a heating element, because the heat does help break those things down. Now, otherwise, you don't need a heating element. Now this one is in the off position. This you can see around here. Maybe you can't. This is the timer. There's 5, 10, 15, and 20. So it only goes up to 20 minutes, which I wouldn't recommend running it for longer than that at one time anyway, because these units can get pretty hot. This is the first time I've ever used it. So we're gonna be seeing this together for the first time. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to say 10 minutes. It's a little over 10 minutes. And then the on-off switch is in the back. It's that red button I showed you earlier. And now we're going to go. And there it is. And you can see it's actually having an effect on the bottle. The bottle's kind of skating around in there. And if you can see inside, you can see bubbles popping around in there. You can see little waves in there. This is strictly from vibration alone. And look, just from that little bit of time in there, it's already starting to fog up and extract scent. And this is one of the extraction methods that Stefan Arctander had written about or spoken about, that for some really special, wow, that's getting loud, for really special extracts, they would, oh, and there's a little pressure, you can feel it on the cap too. That's why you want to use something that maybe isn't, well, something that's a little flexible. You never know what could happen. I've never had a major accident with an ultrasonic before, so I'm not trying to say that, you know, it could explode or anything, but to err on the side of caution, you might want to just be cautious. Anyway, Stefan Arctander outlined in his book that I think every natural perfumer should have a copy of, that using ultrasonic worked on the molecular level in extracting scent from plant material or whatever material. It could have been animal based as well, because I believe they use this in ambergris, and to disperse it into the alcohol. And one of the reasons they really liked it is because for one, it was pretty fast. And the resulting scent was very true to the original raw material. So there's some historic basis for using this technique, and it does work. Another way that it works is, and I'm not going to show this one today, but is in maturation of finished perfumes. Let's say, for example, you have a perfume. It's your second or third batch. You've got customers waiting, and you really want to get it done so that you can get it out there on the market, and you have to make a fresh batch. And you need it out within a week or so instead of the 6 or 12 or whatever weeks it is you normally wait. You would use the ultrasonic during that week's time daily, I'd say 4 or 5 times per day, and it does help to speed the maturation. Oh, I've got a little bug in here. Speed the maturation process. I think that's a spider that just slipped in. I'm gonna let him go. Basically, that's it. So if you wanted heat, you were doing an infusion, you could use the same techniques. This would be full of oil instead of alcohol, and you would be turning on your heating element for the duration of the time that you would have your vibration, your sonication level turned on as well. Excuse me. You could also at some point just have the heating element turned on without the vibration if it were a very waxy raw material, something that required a little more heat. But just remember that when you heat things, you also degrade the base oils. So you don't want to heat it to an extent or for a long period of time, because it could cause your oil to turn rancid. And you can also use the heat in an alcohol extraction. You just want to keep an eye on it so that when the raw material inside does completely evaporate, or I'm sorry, not evaporate, dissolve in the alcohol menstruum, you turn the heating element off and just leave the sonication portion. So basically this is it. It's very simple, very straightforward. There aren't a lot of hard and fast rules here. You just create a tincture, you put it in this machine, and I can already feel that this is heating up. So I wouldn't run this machine for longer than 10 minutes at a time. And you can do this, I might do this 10 times over the course of a weekend to get a nice solid infusion of this. And 3 days versus 3 months of time spent getting a nice tincture. I think I would prefer, and this is a really nice unit. I'm very impressed with this unit. And anyway, that's it. If you have any questions, drop them in the forum, and I will address them.